Welcome back to Dolphins United, the platform for Dolphins. You heard me. We back in the house, going ahead now and starting the roster breakdowns, all right? Who do y'all think is going to be popping off during training camp, making a name for themselves? Who do y'all think is going to drop the ball figuratively and maybe literally and not make the squad? Whether it's veterans, rookie surprises, whatever it is, training camp is upon us, right? And you've always got a few stories out there, a few of the guys that are expected to make the team and end up not making it, and then usually because of undrafted guys or late draft picks making a name for themselves, right? And taking their spot, all right? So you got it on both sides. And it gives you a good story, all right, of training camp. And, of course, you want to see your staples as well. You want to see Tua do well. You want to see Tyreek roasting the defense. All right, you want to see Waddle continue to progress. You want to see Jalen Phillips continue to progress. Holland continue to progress. You want to see how Jalen... last name is, I don't know how the last name is escaping me. Cornerback. Let's go down. Ramsey. Sorry, that was not coming. Ramsey. You want to see how Jalen Ramsey adapts to this defense, although it's something that he's played in before. There's a lot, right? We'll go over it all in these next few videos. I'm going to be dropping a video either every other day or every day up until I know the rookies are going to be reporting real soon, but the veterans report on the 27th, 28th, something like that. So all these videos will be out before then. And on top of that, there's a video at the very end that I'm going to talk about, which is what to expect this year versus last year, okay? Because I want everybody to go in understanding something. We'll talk about that probably the day before the first training camp practice. Now, let's go ahead and get into the big uglies. If you know football, you know who the big uglies are. Big uglies is the trenches. Offensive line, defensive line, we're going to talk about them, all right? We're not going to talk about the edge rushers. We're going to talk about defensive tackle, defensive end, not the outside linebackers like Chubb, and we're not talking about them. We're talking about because we're a 3-4 hybrid, we're only talking about the Christian Wilkins of the world and the Sealers of the world and the defensive tackles and the offensive line all across the board. Let's start there with the offensive line. Projected starters right now are Teron Armstead, Liam Eichenberg, Connor Williams, Robert Hunt, and on paper, we have Austin Jackson. Now, we know two of those spots are up for grabs, and we also know that Connor Williams is in a contract dispute. He can't hold out because it'll cost him way too much money, so he's going to be there. But he might have a hamstring, foot, calf, hand, shoulder injury. Okay? And that's just how it works. And he might be a hold in. We don't know for sure, but that might be the case. If that were to happen, then maybe Eichenberg, who has been playing some center, steps in. We don't know, right? So we'll find out exactly how this all works out. Maybe Austin Jackson as well. I don't know. Could play center, whoever it is, right? Some of these guys are going to have a chance if Connor Williams does not participate because he's waiting for the contract. Some of these guys are going to have their chance to really make a name for themselves, and maybe you can say at that point, Connor who, right? We'll see what happens there. We know Teron Armstead, he's got his job. So Kendall Lamb, Ryan Hayes, James Tinstall, Goran Christian, Christian, and Keon Smith are going to be fighting for those 2 tackle spots. The biggest fight that we're going to have or we're going to see is at right tackle, where you're going to have Austin Jackson, Isaiah Wynn, and Kendall Lamb going at it. Those are probably your 3 main guys that'll be going at it for that spot to see who's going to end up having that spot. All right, so that's what I'm interested in seeing. I'm interested in seeing if Austin Jackson can hold on to it, if Isaiah Wynn takes it over, or if Kendall Lamb takes that spot. We'll see what happens there. The other spot we want to watch is left guard, where Robert Jones and Eichenberg possibly, or Dan Feeney, will be fighting for that spot. Okay? Keon Smith is a dark horse I would watch for tackle. He was playing well in mini camp. He held his own when he was in there. So Cedric also, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, is probably another dark horse candidate that may be able to, steal some shine. Robert Hunt solidified. Teron Armstead solidified. Connor, probably Eichenberg in there. Probably Robert Jones in there. Probably Feeney in there. And Olave might be in there as well. So we'll see what happens there. I'm hoping that Connor works it out with the team. Either they give him the extension he's looking for, or if he's just like, you know what, I'm on a prove-it deal. Is what it is. Let's get through it, and I'll make the best of it. I'm hoping that's what happens. So we'll see how that goes. But that's your rundown for offensive line. It's a battle, right? It's a battle. You want the best 5 out there, but you also want consistency. So you can't just keep taking guys out because you want to build a repertoire. Now, I will say this. Teron Armstead, he ain't practicing. So Kendall Lamb, Austin Jackson, Isaiah Wynn, Keon Smith, Geron Christian, Cedric, I don't know, Ogbe, I guess. Ogbe, or something like that. Ogbe, whatever it is. All right, I'm butchering his name. Those guys are going to get really good reps, a lot of reps in, because Teron Armstead is not going to suit up, boot up much in training camp / preseason. You're not going to see it. They want to keep him healthy. So, because now, here's what I would say about that. Now, that's what I believe they're going to do. What I would do is I would put him on every other day. Why would you put him on every other day, DP? Thanks for asking. I'd put him on every other day because last year, him not practicing at all didn't work. First game of the year, the man hurt his foot. First game. We don't need that to happen again. Give that man some reps. Okay? Let his feet, his body get acclimated to playing football at a high level again. His muscles firing at a high level again. So that when he gets to the season, his body knows exactly what it's supposed to be doing. That can't be the first time Teron Armstead is actually going up against the defense, because his muscles might not be holding up if it's his first time. Let him get the kinks out early is what I would say. Put him on every other day. Then for the first couple weeks, then maybe every 2 days. And then once a week after that. But let him gradually get there. Don't just automatically sit him out all these games. Now, so Tyreek Hill, I wouldn't mind him sitting out, but we do want to see it. But I wouldn't mind him sitting out for the majority, because I'm not worried about him and his injuries or anything like that, because he doesn't really have that issue, except in game he'll cramp at times and he'll have the hamstring issues. But other than that, he's usually pretty solid. I wouldn't mind him sitting out some. But when it comes to Teron Armstead, let him work his way to a lesser workload. That's me. I don't believe they're going to do that. So all these other guys, you guys are going to be getting a lot of reps to steal that right tackle spot. Let the best man win. I just want to see the best 5 out there, but a cohesive unit, so that Tua can stay upright, so that we can go get this Super Bowl Tyreek Hill talking about. Now, let's go to defensive line. Defensive line, it's pretty much solidified in who the starters are. And in my opinion, here who are the starters. Christian Wilkins, Raekwon, Ogba, and Sealer. Now, some people will be like, Ogba? Ogba's coming back off an injury. He knows that this is it for him, right? Either he's going to be traded or he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, right? So that's it. Unless he balls out. Now, if he balls out, then it's like, okay, Sealer, loved you, but we're moving on because Ogba's been balling out. I named 4. There's 3 spots. I named 4 guys. There's 3 spots. Now, we play a hybrid 3-4. So if it was me, I'd be starting Christian Wilkins, Davis at nose tackle, and I'd be starting Sealer. If it's 4-3, you start all 4. Ogba would be the backup to Sealer or Wilkins and give them a blow, or come in on certain downs where we know, he's a deflection artist. He can jump up in passing lanes, especially on a passing down. I'd put him in there. He's a little bit better pass rusher than both Christian Wilkins and Sealer. So on passing downs, I'd spell him, put him in. But on run downs, I'd definitely keep Sealer and Christian Wilkins on the field. Those two are beasts. They shed blocks way better than Ogba, a little bit bigger than Ogba. Ogba's a little more athletic than Sealer, not as athletic as Christian Wilkins. So I would definitely start Sealer. That would be my starter if we're going 4-3. 3-4, if 3-4. 4-3, obviously all 4 at that point could start because that's not going to be a problem. Now, let's see who could be stealing some time. All right? We have a few guys that actually looked really good, but they're more edge rushers, so they're not really guys that we can talk about too much. But when it comes to defensive line, we have Josiah Bronson, we have Randy Charlton, I believe, and Anthony Montalvo, and Jalen Twyman, something like that. All right. So I don't expect any of these guys to take any starting spots, but for backup spots, it's up to grabs. And honestly, I don't know these guys that much to just go putting out names. All right. I just don't. So maybe one of these guys can stick out to me, and then I'll be coming back like, yo, heard about this dude. He's balling out, and boom, 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 blah, blah, blah. But until then, we ain't got much to talk about. I barely even know these guys' names. Some of them, this is the first time I'm seeing them on, the screen, in which there's a laptop in front of me. So, right, we'll see. If they give me a reason to know their name and pronounce their name right, then we'll revisit this. But for now, I expect the starters to stay the same. Maybe Sealer would be the actual starter. Maybe Ogba would be. I don't know. I hope Ogba is playing well because it just gives us more depth and we're going to need it. And we need pass rushers because right now what we got at pass rusher is in the outside linebacker group. All right, in that defensive end. So we need better from that. We need Raekwon to take a next step as well, and for him to finally be a bona fide star that he could potentially be. All right, it's year 4 for him. Last year of his rookie contract. Maybe, just maybe, he can pull a Paul Soliai, have a great year, and then we extend him for another 2. All right, maybe. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll see what happens with him. I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Please let me know who your dark horse at offensive line is and at defensive line. See y'all on the next video. Love y'all like soul food. I'm out.